Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. For this week's dopamine craft, I'll be making this gorgeous bestie bag. For the longest time, I wanted a crescent shaped bag, and so when I saw a YouTube video about the bestie bag, I said, bet, let me make one too. I chose this color palette because for whatever reason, I've been obsessed with pink and orange color combination. I think they complement each other so well, and I went ahead and added some gold accessories because I think gold adds a bit of warmth and luxury. So now let's get into this video. So this is what the pattern for the bestie bag looks like. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out with a pair of scissors. Here I'm just attaching iron-on interfacing to all the pieces of the main body of my bag. On the fabric for the large pocket, I'm measuring 1/2 inch at the top edge, then I'll fold that and press, then I'll measure 1/2 inch again, fold it again, and then press. I'll then sew that down from end to end. Then I'll take the fabric from my small pocket, fold it in half so that they meet at the notches, then I'll sew straight down along the edges. Once that's done, I'll flip the pocket inside out and do a top stitch along the top edge. Now, I'm going to take my fabric from my large pocket and I'm going to match all the notches on that pocket fabric to the notches on my lining fabric, and then I'll clip that in place. So I forgot to draw the lines to create the pocket spaces, so that's what I'm just doing right now. And once I draw the lines for the pocket spaces, I'm then going to sew all around the edges of my pocket fabric in order to attach it to the lining fabric. And then I'm going to sew straight down in order to create the pocket spaces on the pocket fabric. I hope that made sense. So now I'm gonna attach the smaller pocket to the second lining. Okay, that's perfectly aligned. Let's clip that in place so it doesn't run around. So I'm just gonna sew across and also sew straight down on the sides using the 3/8 marking on my sewing machine. After I was done sewing, I realized that I ran out of thread in my bobbin and I just wanna scream. So up next, we're going to be working on the zipper tab. So it says to fold the zipper tabs in half, wrong sides together. Yep, matching the notches. Okay, so I'm gonna grab that, and it says to put it in here. I'm gonna attach it like so and do the same thing on this end. I'll just do a top stitch straight down and also straight down here. It says to find the middle of the zipper and match that with the center notch on our main fabric. So to find the middle of the zipper, I'm just going to fold it in half. I'll just make like a notch there so that I can know where it is when I go to put it, when I go to attach it to this piece of fabric. So I matched the notch I made in the zipper with the notch that was on the fabric of my main body piece, and I'll just hold that in place. Actually, it's supposed to be the other way. Yikes, my bad. So yeah, so right sides together, so the right side of the zipper is going to match the right side of my main body fabric. So now that that's done, I'm going to sew straight down here as close as I can get to the teeth of the zipper. And to do that, I'm going to use a zipper foot. I'm going to switch out this one that I have here, this regular foot, for a zipper foot. So using the 3/8 marking on my sewing machine, I'm going to attach the zipper to the main fabric. Okay, so I have sewn that down, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited because it's my first time ever working with a zipper, and I procrastinated for so long because I was so nervous, so scared that I was going to mess up. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's looking so good. I cannot wait to be done so I can try it on. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get back to it. For the next step, it says that I have to take one of the lining pieces and match it up to the wrong side of my zipper. So let's do it. One of my lining pieces. Oops. And match that up like so. So I'm going to match the center notch to the center notch that we had on the zipper and the main fabric. So now we have that. We're just gonna sew all the way around. Okay, so now I'm going to do an edge stitch just on top of the main fabric in order to hold everything in place. So I'm done edge stitching, and oh my gosh, it's coming together so nicely. I am so stoked. So for the other side, I'm going to take the other main fabric and find my notch. So this is the notch. I'm going to match it up with the notch on my main fabric. Okay, now let's sew all the way down. Okay, so that's done. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous, stunning. Okay, so now we're going to take the other lining piece and find that center notch again and match them up. Okay, match the notches and clip in place, and then clip the rest all around, and we sew it down. I made a mistake. No, I should have, oh no, this one should have been facing here. Oh crap. Okay, now I gotta take that down, but that's okay. Okay, now let's do that again. I'm just gonna match up the notch here on my bottom lining with this notch that I have here on my main bag. So what you're looking at here is a clip from a mistake that I made. It's a clip from the future, from a mistake that I made in this section of attaching the bottom panel. So I accidentally sewed down the main fabric while I was attaching the lining of the bottom panel. Do not do that. Your main fabric should be free to flop around so that when you're attaching the main fabric for the bottom panel, you can easily clip them together or sew them together or whatever. But at this stage, do not sew down the main fabric. Don't repeat my mistake, please. It will save you a lot of time and headache. So I'm just going to try to match up the notches on the lining piece with the notches on the main piece so that everything is in the right place as it should be. Okay, so according to the instructions, I'm going to sew from this edge and stop at the first notch, and also from the other edge and stop at the notch over here. So the idea is that we're going to have this large opening at the bottom to turn the bag around at the final stages. Okay, so the first part of the lining, the first half of the lining has been attached to the first curve to one half of the bag. Now it's time to attach this other part of the lining to the other half of the bag. This time around, we're going to sew everything. We're not going to leave a gap like this one. We're going to sew it all around with no gap. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin that together and get to sewing. Okay, so now I have fixed my mistake and I have set free the other main body so I can attach it to my bottom panel. So please don't make the same mistake that I made. It wasn't really scary or difficult to rectify the mistake. It's just, you know, just the time that was lost, I guess. So now I'm matching the notch of the fabric of my main bottom panel with the notch on the lining, and I'll do that all the way around and sew it in place. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but before you begin attaching the bottom panel, you have to ensure that the zipper is open to allow you turn the bag inside out. So after I'm done sewing the main fabric for the bottom panel, I'm going to flip the bag inside out and then begin to do a top stitch. So I'm going to start from the middle and I'll sew up to where the strap tab begins, and then I'll stop and backstitch, and then I'll turn it around and sew from the middle again to where the strap tab begins on the other end. Then I'll stop and do my backstitch, and I'll repeat the same thing on the other half of the bag. Sorry guys, my storage was full so I couldn't record anymore. For my strap, I didn't want the ones that came with the pattern. I had a different vision for what I wanted, so I used the pattern for the left strap to create these tabs so I could put in these gold D rings, because I'm going to be attaching a gold chain and a pink adjustable purse strap. For the opening in the lining, I'm going to use a ladder stitch to sew it closed because I think ladder stitches look very neat and very professional. So I got the chain from Michael's and I just used a couple of pliers to pry them open to allow me attach them to the lobster hooks. Now that I'm all done, this is what the bag looks like and I am so in love with it. I made a few mistakes here and there, but that's okay because mistakes are how you learn and grow and improve. And despite all the mistakes, the bag still turned out really pretty and very functional. And I'm just so happy to see my vision come to life. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and I hope you learned a thing or two. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next dopamine craft video. Bye.